Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, let's talk about the truth about the Tesla lease buyout. I know a lot of people have been buzzing about this. Is it a good deal? What does it all mean? And does it make sense to lease a Tesla vehicle instead of buying it, financing at 0%? So let's talk about the different reasons on who should be doing this, what types of vehicles they should be doing this with, and we're going to get into this. But usually this is where I run my intro really quick, but usually you can tell that we are traveling right now. And so my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested, and definitely check out my Patreon link down below in the description where you can support the channel and get access to the ultimate Tesla buying guide out there. And today's live stream is partnered with Mint Mobile, where you can save money on your mobile phone plan for as low as $15 a month, but more on that later. And thank you for everybody for dropping by today. Happy Thanksgiving. I know some of you, I try to time this so it's perfect for everybody that's about to go eat dinner, or maybe on the West Coast, because we're on the East Coast right now. And I know it's like 5 o'clock. And so we're trying to time this right in between when people could be getting into the evening's festivities. But here it is. Tesla now has eligible lease buyouts for Tesla vehicles. And this is much bigger than we were talking about and seeing yesterday, because not only does new people, everybody that can buy a Tesla today, eligible for the lease buyout, old people that have existing leases can also do a buyout as well. And so here it is. This is why it's the best time to get a Tesla at the moment, because everybody and anybody can qualify for the $7,500 in federal tax credit. And so this is why this is a much bigger thing than what it was before, because I know a lot of you out there might potentially qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit, but there also is a ton of people that don't qualify for the tax credit, the $7,500 federal tax credit, because if you make above these income limits after the adjusted gross income, you do not get the $7,500 federal tax credit. And so the biggest loophole of all of this is that if you lease a vehicle, and of course, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can save up to $2,000. If you lease any of these Tesla vehicles, you can be eligible for these fantastic low payments, $299 a month on a Model 3 or Model Y, or $1,000 a month Model S, Model X, and Cybertruck. But more importantly, you can get that $7,500 itemized as a discount, as a credit on the lease. And then guess what you can do? You can turn around and buy it out if you really want to right after, and buy it out and get that $7,500. Because as we found, as we've seen, most people, if you're looking to do this, you can get that buyout option immediately after you lease it. You don't have to wait like a few months. There's no lockout period. You don't have to wait 6 months, a year, 3 years, or whatever. You can lease it, and then on day, maybe a week from that, after the paperwork settles, of course, then you can buy it out and get that $7,500 fantastic credit. And of course, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can get up to $2,000 off. And on top of that, this is insane because there's still crazy inventory discounts. I mean, this doesn't necessarily change anything for Model 3 and Model Y buyers, but this changed everything for Model S and Model X buyers, because you can see that if you take a look at our deal spreadsheet, just like the one down below in the description, there's plenty of Model S's and Model X's with big discount, $8,000, $9,000, $7,000. Some of these might not be eligible for the lease, but there still are bigger ones that you can find, and you can stack it with the lease $7,500, and on top of that, the $1,000 to $2,000 referral tax credit as well. And here's what it looks like, because people are already sharing what it looks like if you lease a vehicle. How does it look like if you want to buy it out immediately? And you can see they're already getting options for Tesla owners to buy it out immediately after leasing. Here's what it looks like if you are looking to purchase a vehicle. You can see that if you're in an existing lease, it gives you any time, any moment of your lease, it gives you a price of how much you can buy it out if you want to. But really, if you're already in a lease, there's really no point in buying it out unless you really like that vehicle. But there's a big reason why people would want to buy out their lease, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But here's another screenshot of another adjusted balance of, because you can literally buy out your lease on a Tesla anytime you want. So it's a fantastic option for leasing a Tesla. So it's for anybody that's about to lease a Tesla and for everybody that already leased a Tesla. So great option for sure. And so here's where we get into some of the numbers, because you can actually see the residual value. What residual value is how much is that vehicle going to be worth at the end of the lease. And you can play around with any build, any Model 3, Model Y, S, or even X. If you go to edit terms and savings, it actually shows you the fine print right here. Option to purchase of $27,682 at the end of the 3-year term. And so really it's like, hey, like why would you even take that risk? You might as well have Tesla take that risk. And if you can lease it at a low interest rate, it might be worth it to actually do that. And you might be wondering, how can I find out what the lease interest rate is? Well, we've tried to categorize it and write it down. So on our deal spreadsheet down below in the description, you can see there's a tab for Tesla lease rates, and we've got some of what we can find here. All we know is that it's not necessarily favorable on a 2025 model, or especially a Model 3 Performance. The vehicle that it is favorable on it is a 2024 Model 3 long range all-wheel drive, because that is where you're going to get a low APR of 1.91%. And if you can stack it on top of a inventory discount like this one, $4,750 off, you can see the deal could potentially be very, very, very good. But there's another big reason why this lease buyout is a huge thing, because a lot of times we talk about leasing and how it's not a good deal because of what happens at the end of the lease. If you do not take care of your vehicles, if you put a lot of wear and tear in it, you curb your rims, scratch it up and everything, now there is an option for you to just buy that vehicle out. Buy a vehicle that you've been driving for 3 years instead of turning it back into Tesla and paying the $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in wear and tear repairs that Tesla would bill you. If you don't believe me, just Google Tesla end of lease wear and tear repairs and you'll see there's plenty of, I don't want to say horror stories, but there's plenty of stories of people out there that have been forced to pay that because they have to turn that vehicle back into Tesla. But if you can buy it out, it's yours, and then you are just going to be paying for whatever condition it's in because Tesla already has set that residual value set with whatever you're going to be buying out for. So one other thing that you have to be aware of, and we talked about it briefly, is that interest rates for a lease are going to be higher. So that's where you have to kind of pick your spots and figure out if it's actually worth it. But the biggest thing that for everybody, or a biggest thing for most or some people out there, is that now everybody can get the $7,500 federal tax credit regardless of income limits. If you make above these limits or whatever, you can get it, and you can get it on a lease, and then you just have to make sure to buy that out pretty quickly. We talked about how the Cybertruck at one point had a pretty high interest rate, and so you don't want to keep that lease too long because you're going to be paying some high interest rate on the loan. But hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully it clears it up for anybody looking to lease a vehicle and are wondering about what's going on with this lease buyout and everything like that. But we're going to jump into the next topic. Before we get into our next topic, I've been trying to save money lately, and that's why we talk about this channel, trying to get the best deal on a Tesla. And I've been looking at our subscriptions like YouTube Premium, Netflix, trying to figure out how I could save some money every single month. And cutting expenses, it's kind of hard. We've been trying to rack our brain together and figure out how. That's why I'm so intrigued with our channel partner, Mint Mobile. They offer premium wireless starting at $15 a month. And I can get high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network, and I can even bring my own phone along with my current number and existing contracts. I'm sacrificing nothing. I've used Mint Mobile a ton, and I switched my second line to Mint Mobile, and I've been using it to watch YouTube and play podcasts on our daily commute and haven't noticed any drop in speed. And I can't tell the difference. So how hard is it to switch service? Big Wireless wants you to think it's actually hard, but it's not at all. Switching to Mint is super easy thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most of you now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. So if you want to save little money without the sacrifice, go to trymintmobile.com/DennisCW, also linked down below in the description, to get premium wireless for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. Thank you to Mint for partnering, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks for coming in, everyone. Who came in today? I know it's Thanksgiving, so I know some of you might not be able to join, but thank you all for dropping by. BD, great to see you. Gibson, great to see you. Ashwari, thanks for coming in. And who else is there? That's about it. Thank you all for dropping by. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I know this is probably the best time to try and stream tonight while we get in between with all the different deals and everything. And of course, Tesla wished us all a happy Thanksgiving as well. Take a look at their new model lineup. We've got the Cybercab on the left side. We've got the big bus thingy, whatever it is, the Tesla Semi, Cybertruck, the Tesla Robot in the background. And of course, we've got 3SYX. I like how they ordered that actually instead of 3YSX. They did sedan, SUV, SUV. So really cool to see. And Sergio, thanks for coming by. And VVS, thank you for dropping by as well. In this next topic, the $7,500 tax credit for the Tesla Cybertruck is here. If you've been waiting for it, here is actually how you're going to get it on the Tesla Cybertruck. Now that there's lease buyouts, you might have seen it. This is how you can get the $7,500 federal tax credit if you lease the vehicle. Because if you lease a Tesla Cybertruck, you can actually buy it out immediately and get that $7,500. And on top of that, if you use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, you can get an extra $2,000 off of a Cybertruck as well to make it a fantastic deal if you're doing it. Here's how it works. First, you got to lease a Cybertruck for $999 a month. But don't worry though, because even though it's a high interest rate of 13%, you're going to buy it out immediately at maybe even use a credit union like the ones down below in the description at the Patreon link where you can get the best credit unions. Then you're going to get the $7,500 tax credit on a lease. You're going to see that line item as a discount minus $7,500. You're going to immediately then buy it out, maybe wait a week after the paperwork settles, and then you'll own a Cybertruck for $7,500 less. Actually, more than that, $9,500 for an adjusted price of $70,490, almost 10 grand off of a Tesla Cybertruck. So this is the steps. If you're looking to get a cheaper Cybertruck, this is how you would do it. And really cool to see that Tesla has allowed buyouts. And we definitely thought this was something that was going to be happening as well, because they've got an astronomical 13% on a lease for a Cybertruck. Really, most of the Tesla leases have a high interest rate. So even if you lease it, you don't want to keep them too long, especially if you're going to buy it out, and make sure you have your credit union or other financing set up. And most credit unions will, in fact, take a look at a 2024 or even 2023 Tesla and give you new rates on that. We've got a bunch of them down below in our Patreon link if you want to take advantage of that. But still, really cool to see. On top of that, you can, if you want to play around with the numbers, but of course it doesn't necessarily matter. You do want to figure out if you can finance it afterward and what type of payment if you're going to be financing it. And most of the time you're going to see 4 or 5% on financing a Tesla Cybertruck no matter what. And that is what it is going to be. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. Let's see, Gibson, I'm curious when their financing rates on a lease buyout. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit higher, and you can find a full list of it at our deal spreadsheet down below in the description. Ashwari, I'm planning to purchase a Tesla Model Y long range. It is a better option to finance Model Y or lease it out. I would say it kind of depends on what you're looking to do. Well, A, if you don't qualify for the tax credit, then definitely lease it. If you're looking to keep it 4 to 5 years, find an inventory discount, $4,000 to $5,000 off, just like our deal spreadsheet down below in the description, and then you're going to go ahead and just buy it out, especially because it's 0% for 60 months. You really can't beat that. Gibson, I'm wondering if there's a glitch on the site. When I explored the lease on a monthly performance, it wasn't showing the tax credit for it. It could be just due to color option. I'll have to take a look closer. Well, it should actually show all the different tax credits for $7,500 on a lease, but it's kind of hidden. They don't necessarily like itemize it right away. You got to look at like the fine print, and it should say maybe like a $7,500 down somewhere on that, because if you take a look at, let's see, lease, I guess lease buyout is right here. Maybe you have to build like the certain terms or something like that, but it should be available. The one way to maybe take a look at it is if we go to like some of the used ones, maybe it will be a lower payment. But the best thing is that Tesla has more tools that they show on the website. I went to a Tesla store the other day, and they've got this full payment calculator the staff does have that shows you a lot more information with all the different things that we actually can't see here. And so it's kind of unfortunate, but maybe it's worth it for you if you want a little bit bit more knowledge, going into your local Tesla store to see if they can give you more information on that. Sergio, thanks for coming in. VVS, yep, Dennis, 2 to 3 more weeks till I send it on a Tesla. Nice. Classified, is this full-time job? Thanks for keeping us interested on Thanksgiving. No, thanks for dropping by on Thanksgiving as well. Howard, how's residuals value versus sell price of 3 years and 30,000 miles? That's the whole thing, because really my big thing is on leasing might make more sense because you're kind of hedging the depreciation on a vehicle. You can take a look at some of these vehicles and what types of residual value, like $27,000, and kind of do the math yourself. Like, hey, if I buy this vehicle and own it for 3 years, is it going to be worth more than $27,000? And more times than not, most likely it actually will not, and you're taking more risk than you want to. So leasing could make the most sense if you get a low interest rate. And so that's why I've been sticking to my guns. A 2024 Tesla Model 3 long range all-wheel drive, 2024 specifically, that you can lease is going to be your best deal, hands down, no matter what. In this next topic, there's actually an insane deal right now where you can get $15,000 off of a Tesla Model 3, a brand new one, and get it for a purchase price. Get this, a purchase price of $59,000 for a brand new Model S. Let me show you exactly what we're talking about. Here it is. You can actually get a brand new Model S long range for a adjusted price of $59,550. Here is how it actually works. It's a total of $14,000, almost $15,000 off of the purchase price. This one exactly here has a $5,440 inventory discount. It's got a $7,500 lease tax credit if you lease it. And on top of that, you can use a $2,000 Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can get an extra $2,000 off of a Model S. And so if you play out all the various math here, you can see the purchase price is $59,550. You do have to lease it, and then you would want to buy it out immediately because we don't know what the interest rate on this particular lease is. But if the interest rate is respectable, like a 3 to 5%, you could think about keeping it, because if you're looking at Model S, your interest rate is already 5% on a financing term anyway through Tesla. So it's really apples to apples. And so you could go either way, but this is insane because at a adjusted purchase price of $59,550, I mean, a Model 3 Performance MSRP is like $55K. So it's almost like, why even mess with a Model 3 Performance when you can spend 10% more, 20% more, and get a brand new Model S long range, way more of a vehicle, bigger size. And the key thing with me is that this one has air suspension as well. So let us know if this is something you are interested in trying to get into, because this is a crazy deal when you stack up all these different incentives on top of that. And let us know, would you drive a Model S over a Model 3 Performance? And of course, don't forget to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, so you can get that extra $2,000 off of a Tesla. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. Jamie, I'm looking forward to a huge sale after Thanksgiving. Yeah, maybe December 2nd. Lucky, they don't pass on the $7,500 when you purchase. People aren't already talking about it. Oh, they take it away? No way. Let me show me that. FR is a used 2023 Model 3 long range, low mileage with 25K better deal than leasing. It depends. I mean, if you can get a depreciated one, yeah. And if you qualify for that $4,000 used EV tax credit, 100%. VVS, Dennis, I've been seeing some used Model 3s pop up from time to time this whole week under 25K, qualifying for the 4K EV tax credit. Crazy deal. I saw one sell 18K 2 days ago. 2020 standard range, 35,000 miles. Yeah, I mean, the name of the game of all of this is that, I mean, Model 3s, all Tesla vehicles, any vehicle at this point depreciates. And so if you wait it out, you can get a deal on a used one as well. In this next topic, Model 3, Highland Model 3 prices are crashing. We've starting to see more flooding into the market, and now CarMax actually has a handful of them actually. Here's a take a look at. We've got a Model 3 long range at $42,000. We've got a Model 3 standard range at $32,000. And we've got a nice Model 3 Performance in North Carolina for $44,000 from CarMax. Really cool to see all 3 different models here available from CarMax and already depreciated as well. So if you're looking to get one, if you don't qualify for the tax credit, this could be a great one for you to scoop up at the end of the day. But taking a look at it, I mean, this is going to be more of a common sight more than others because we're going to see more of these Tesla Model 3s, these Highland Model 3s come into the market year after year and month after month. But here's a snapshot of the auction values. We took a look at 2024 Model 3 all-wheel drive long range, and you can see they've started to sell at the auctions as well. 34,000 with one with 938 miles. We got another one, 37,000 with 1,345 miles. And taking a look at the used side for cars.com, we can see Model 3 standard range. There's already one under 30 grand for a 2024 Highland. Actually, not only one, there's a handful of them, 2 of them, and another one right here at $31,000. So Model 3 Highland prices are crashing. So maybe it's like, hey, like if you could be looking at a brand new one, but at the same time, the used side is always going to get a little bit lower. And maybe you could negotiate on one of these to try and get a better deal. But I wanted to show you guys all that just to see what is out there in terms of Model 3 prices on the used side as well. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. Gibson, I've never been too tempted to lease any vehicle, but with Tesla, it might actually be a smart strategy due to the continuous improvements throughout the model year. Yeah, 100%. It's kind of like owning an iPhone, right? Like every year, these iPhones get better, and at some point, you're going to upgrade anyways. And so technology moves fast, full self-driving, it makes improvements. I mean, just think about hardware 2.5, hardware 3, and hardware 4. It's essentially all obsolete almost. Beheem, just got my Cyber Beast. Nice, congrats. Enjoy it in good health. And of course, don't forget to check out our Tesla accessory discount codes down below in the description. Swaylin, new 2024 Model 3 long range or used Model 3 a better deal? I mean, it depends on what for your situation. Are you financing? Are you paying cash? Used, even though it could look like a great deal, like some of these are already under 30K. If you're financing these are going to be essentially could be a higher interest rate unless you've got a cool credit union like Navy Federal that thinks that already put some of these 2024s at the favorable rate. But even then, it's still 4.4%, where you can get a new one at 0% for 36 months. So tomato in terms of what types of deals could be out there. In this next topic, base Tesla Model 3 has the best build quality ever. There's a brand new video that is out from one of our favorites, Out of Spec Details. You can see they took a look at some of the new one. I haven't taken the videos also. I just want to make this as a PSA out there so you can take a look at it. But base Model 3 has the best build quality I've seen from a Tesla. And here is the video. They must have done their inspection and took a look at this whole body panel to see what the build quality is. And I believe it too, because this is Tesla's newest one. This is their lowest entry into the market for Model 3s. And they know a lot of people are going to be driving and buying these vehicles. But I still think an all-wheel drive is going to be a better deal, especially because even though there's a lot of these Model 3 rear-wheel drives in the market, there's also a lot of all-wheel drives with a $4,000 to $5,000 discount at the same price as rear-wheel drive. So really, what deal is going to be the better one? Of course, one that is the same price as an all-wheel drive with a big discount at the same price as a rear-wheel drive. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let us know their thoughts on that. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. Patel, will December include any Model Y for 30K after tax credit? Crossing fingers. No, I don't think it's going to get that low. VVS, do you have any videos about the battery life, degrading in the battery, etc.? No, but there's a warranty. And so as long as you don't keep it after like 8 years, 120,000 miles, I think you're pretty good. Sir Lucky, what's the deals on Model Y all-wheel drive long range? Well, definitely check out our deal spreadsheet down below in the description where you can see all the different deals down there, $4,000 to $5,000 off. And the beauty with these is that these are before the $1,000 Tesla referral code credit, just like the one down below in the description, where you can get an extra $1,000. And I realized I wasn't sharing my screen. Here it is. You can find this deal spreadsheet so you can see all the best deals across the United States and see how much maximum you're getting deals out there for Tesla vehicles. You can definitely check out down below in the description. But thanks for jumping in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button in the comments and everything. And I'll see you guys